A very good morning to one and all. My name is Professor Shiv Kumar, and on behalf of BBS Institute of Management Studies, I would like to welcome you all to this webinar session. Today's webinar is on business etiquettes, and we have with us Mr. Rajit Karunakaran, who is the co-founder of ProQuiz Knowledge Center, and he is going to share with us his knowledge and wisdom on this particular topic. Rajit sir, I welcome you to this session.
Thank you, Shiva. Thank you. Good morning, one and all. Hope you all do good. Muted. Okay. Hope you are all doing good and safe. And we have a rainy morning out here in Trivandrum. Hello.
Thank you, sir. We also have with us Dr. R.J. Algi sir, who is the director of BBS Institute of Management Studies. Sir, I welcome you to this session.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to invite all the 500 delegates on behalf of BV Sangha's Institute of Management Studies. And we have got Professor Rajit Karunakaran from Kerala. He will be talking throughout the session. And I don't want to waste much of the time. Wish you all the best. Good day. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The COVID-19 pandemic has plunged us into a state of uncertainty. So in this phase of adversity, all of us are trying our best to appreciate and adapt to this new way of life. While continuing these efforts, we are here today to learn something which is highly valuable and beneficial for all of us. We are very grateful to our Honorable Chairman, Dr. Veerana Charantimat sir, who is always supportive in conducting these kinds of programs. And we would also like to thank our college Governing Council Chairman, Sri Ashok Sajjan sir, for encouraging us to conduct this event. Before I hand over the session to our today's guest, I would like to give a brief introduction about sir. Mr. Rajit Karunakaran Nair holds his bachelor's and master's degree from Kerala University. He also has an additional postgraduate diploma in travel and tourism management. He is currently the CEO of ProQuiz Knowledge Center, which is located in Kerala. He has more than a decade of experience working with many international firms such as Advantage Consulting Company, Ali Al Ghanim and Sons Automotive Company, and Sun Reflex Systems, to name a few. He's also associated with Attire Innovation Mission as a mentor of change since 2018. With this brief introduction, I now request Mr. Rajit sir to take over the session. Rajit sir, please.
Thank you, Shiva. Good morning once again, one and all. On the onset, I should thank Dr. Prakash, who is actually invited me to do this particular session. Let me share my screen, and from there we go ahead. Hope everyone can see the screen now, right? And it's my request, please mute your microphone and turn off your camera during the session, because internet connectivity may get a hit because of the weather conditions as well. And during morning time, we have experienced this, this kind of outages. So I request everyone, please mute your microphone. Thank you. Okay, so what's business etiquette? Okay, and all this changed, in fact, since March because of the arrival of C19, the COVID-19. Everything changed a little bit. So during the session, I will be I will definitely touch base what you have to look in the new, which is going to be the new normal. Okay, so C19 etiquette slightly changed, especially in the advent of online meetings like this particular session. So what kind of things you should follow when you are attending such an online session, this we will do it. And then the etiquette of using the masks, we will go through, okay, all those things. So what is business etiquette? Business etiquette is making another person comfortable to do business with you. That's the simplest, the definition of business etiquette, right? And since since with all the globalization and everything, even though now it's everything in a standstill, global managers, you need to understand, multiple communication styles. The way you communicate out here is not the way you're going to communicate in Gulf countries, the way you communicate in Europe, the way you communicate in China, the way you communicate in US. So everything changes. So global managers, especially MBA students, should always be aware of all this, because I always believe that you should not limit yourself inside your comfort zone. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to work in multicultural cities, in more in where other people, other nationalities, other people from different cultures come in. Then only you will learn. You will learn new culture, you will learn new language, and you will learn a lot of things. So one thing you should understand is, wherever you are going to represent your company, your profession, and your country. So this is why business etiquette is very important, right? Okay, so let's start simple. The basic thing of the first impression is ABC, appearance. So if you are a consultant like me, my profession, I'm a strategist, I'm a consultant basically. So you can see I always wear a white shirt and a tie and a dark suit, and a lace shoes, right? This is how the consultants throughout the week, they will be dressed like this. So appearance is very important. So you need to be, and it's a cliche, everyone says that the first impression is the best impression. I would say that the first impression is the only impression. So whenever, if students are attending today's session, please make sure when you go for an interview, your impression counts, okay? So likewise, when you are trying to do business, when you're trying to do business with others, make sure your appearance is good. So you can reserve all your questions at the end. We can go for some question answer session around maybe for 5 minutes or something, or you can even chat. So please don't raise your hands in between. Thank you. Okay, now about behavior. So you need to be, your behavior will be the reflection of your profession. So when you behave badly, that will affect the profession you are representing. So your behavior is very important, right? And you are not only your social behavior, your online behavior is also very important. Nowadays, people see more online only, right? See, because of the lockdown, most of us for the past 40 plus days, we are sitting at home and we have only connection is through online, right? So your online behavior is also very important. And then communication. Even if you are an Einstein, if you don't know how to communicate, what's the point? Okay, so you need to communicate well. So in business, communication is very important, because you cannot just do business with ambiguous or vague statements. You need to communicate to the point. Okay, right now. Let's start with the students when they pass out from college after doing their MBA or master's degree, they move to in a job. The first thing you should shed is the teacher-student hangover. You always think that your manager is your teacher, or the person to whom you are reporting is your teacher. No, that you should stop. The moment you cross the college borders, the teacher-student, that particular relationship, it's confined inside the college. So managers assume role of teachers, and some managers also think that they're teachers, they know everything and they will do like that. Communication, always understand that it's a two-way street. Okay, and it should be a balance between speaking and listening. If you don't allow the other person to speak, then there is no point in communication. So a good communicator will be a very good listener. That's the first thing. You should listen and you should not hear. Okay, the difference between listening and hearing. You should understand. Hearing, you just hear and it goes. Listening is when you take action on what the other person said. So when one person is talking, by nodding your head or taking notes, or oh, okay, I understand, such expressions, you are listening because you are taking action on that. So please note that the difference between hearing and listening. To be a good communicator, you should be a good listener. Right. And what communication do in business? Communication always build rapport. Okay. With good people would love to do business with the people who communicate well, without any mask, even though now we all put masks like this. Okay. And get your point across. You should not keep a person hanging or just, a question mark. You should just put across your point. What you are trying to express, you should express. So communication is very important. And using words and body language is the trick in business. Okay, body language counts. Okay, if I'm going to stand like this and look at the camera and I'm going to talk, will you like it? Will you like it? No, you will not like it. The same posture, I'm just without any smile, nothing, I'm just talking, you will not like it. So body language is very important. Okay, so and body language should be in coordination with your words. Okay, so that's very important. Now, business conversation, with certain things you need to be watch out. Okay, the choice of words. The choice of words, and different cultures demand certain words. You cannot use, in America, it's okay when we say, oh my God, or I mean, oh shit. These kind of words may not be, a favorable, usage in Europe or even in India. So you have to be very careful, okay? So then voice, the warmth of the voice. If I talk in a very low voice, will you like it? That shows I'm not confident, right? So voice also plays a very important role. And then accent. When you're talking English, I'm talking only about English because I've seen many people join from all over India for this session. So when you're talking about English, I mean, when you're conversing in English, please make sure you have a neutral accent, right? Because now you're a global manager. Okay, you're going to do business globally. So everyone should understand. So your accent should be neutralized. I mean, I'm not saying that you should have an American accent or an European accent, but you can have a neutralized accent. Throughout India, there are different accents, and the way Malayalis talk, the way Tamil people talk, the way Kannadiga talks, we can make out from the way certain words are pronounced. So better when you are trying to do business globally, please try to neutralize your accent. Okay, all this create a great impact. Okay, when the other person is continuously saying that, sorry, I don't understand, that means you have a problem. Either you are talking too fast or your accent, he's not understanding. Okay, so this is the basic thing while you're communicating. Now, using the right words, I said words are the most powerful communication tool that should create interest in the other person to do business with you, right? And good language skills, and it requires creative thinking. The more languages you learn, the best chance you survive. This is what you need to do. And also, you should have advanced vocabulary. So if you don't read, then you will not have vocabulary. That's the first thing. Students, I always love to talk to students and tell them, please read books. Okay, even if it's fiction, even if it's novels, please read novels. I suggest novels. Okay, why? Because if you read novels, it's conversation, basically. If you read more, you will have good vocabulary. Otherwise, during the first 3 minutes of your interview, the people will understand, the interviewers will understand that you are, the same people. Ordinary, nothing extraordinary in you, right? Okay, so I repeat again, please don't raise hands during the session. You will get time for questions at the end of the session. Thank you. Now, power of voice. As I said, if I talk in a very low tone, will you trust? So if you talk with confidence, a good voice, not shouting, not yelling, in a good voice, that inspires trust. That you should understand. And as I said earlier, you have to synchronize the body language with your words. That will create a balance and an impact on others, right? Okay, and then again, have you noticed the newsreaders of channels, well-trained newsreaders, how they emote? Okay, when they are reading out news, and especially when it's a sad news, the way they change their tone and the way the expression comes, that's the training you need to take. So the sadness, happiness, nervousness, and fear, everything you can express through your eyes, right? So, and that will generate interest. And research always shows that pitch, tone, and volume creates a powerful impact. Impact like that of having a vocabulary. So along with the vocabulary, you should have, you should speak in good pitch and tone and volume, right? Okay. Now, pitch, I said, accent, I said, and diction. Yeah, diction, of course, the best answer is the former US president. The best example is former US President Obama. Okay, the clear diction, the best pronunciation, and the way you can, we will just have a quick look at a video.
So much. Tonight, more than 200 years after a former colony won the right to determine its own destiny.
Okay, you can watch that. Now, power of voice, I'm continuing. Speaking too loudly. Asians and Americans speak louder than Europeans, okay? Chinese speak louder than Indians, so you can imagine. And Indians speak too loud in restaurants. That's against the etiquette. We talk, our restaurants, other than the five-star hotels, are very noisy. And even on the mobile phone, if you have noticed, we speak loudly. I mean, sometimes, you know, I think that even without a mobile phone, the other person can hear. This is how people speak using a mobile phone, okay? And speaking loudly depends on location. If you are standing down and you are talking to a person, let's say 3 floors above, okay, of course you have to speak loudly, right? Speaking too fast and making the listener repeatedly asking, excuse me, it's a sign of bad communication, which I already said, right? Okay, now eyes. Of course, I said eyes can convey all the emotions and of course the facial expressions. This personal space is very important in this COVID time, right? Standing too close is always intimidating and aggressive. You cannot stand so close. I will tell you this, but the space, the distance you have to keep. You cannot stand too close while you're doing business. At least one hand away you can make the person stand, you know, the shake hand away. Okay, too far is also disinterested. Okay, but you cannot allow people to come so close to you that space is reserved for your family members. Okay, okay. Then postures and gestures, very important when you are communicating. If I cross my arms like this and talk, means I'm not interested in you. Or if I put my hands, both the palms inside my pocket and I'm standing again, I'm not interested in you. You just stop. Okay, that's one thing. Then Indians are known for the notes, you know, the famous notes. We will just have, you know, a little fun and then we'll come back. An Indian shakes his head in different ways when you speak to him. It could be like this, this, or this. What do they mean? If a person shakes his head like this, it means he's saying yes. John, did you milk the cow today? Yes can also be said like this. If a person moves his head like this, it means he's saying no. John, did you shave your beard today? If a person sways his head like this, it means maybe or may not be. John, did you delete the browser history? You did? You didn't? What? Doing the yes or no. Okay, we will stop there because, you know, time is a problem. Now, listening, I said, I explained to you the difference between listening and understanding. So we'll go ahead with email etiquette. Okay, email etiquette is very important because nowadays we use, you know, the popular business tool is email, right? And it's very fast, it's effective, and it goes directly to the person. But poorly drafted emails can create confusion and misunderstanding, which is a no-no in a business situation. And emails without salutations. I've received thousands of emails without salutations, okay? That is very rude. It's against the etiquette. And emails starting with subjects, get it done urgently. Some bosses or some managers always do this. Get it done urgently, or is it done? A question mark. This is wrong, okay? This is wrong. Now, and again, emails, you should understand, is not a substitute for face-to-face meeting. Emails depend on the mood of the other person. Okay, if I'm angry and I'm receiving an email, the way I read will be, you know, with all the anger in my mind. So we have to make sure that, you know, the choice of words you use, the way you salute, everything is in a polished thing. And emails nowadays, it's legally accepted as well. So be very careful. And also, you want, if you feel that there is any confusion, you can call the person and explain, right? Okay, now emails, you should understand, lack confidentiality. No network is safe these days. Anyone can read anyone's email or any content. So before hitting the send button, please check, especially the carbon copy, the CC, and the blind carbon copy, BCC, the rows. Before doing that, these fields are very important. If you are not supposed to copy someone, or your boss or your supervisor told you not to copy to anyone, and you wanted to copy to your, not the immediate boss, the boss above you, you can do it by adding his name in BCC, right? Instead of that, if you add in CC, the other person will also come to know that. So make sure before clicking the send button, make 100% sure that everything is correct, right? So, and never send an email without a subject line. That's again very rude. And always have a signature line which gives your email address, even though you're sending from your email address, the office address, the phone number, and the mobile number, right? And also, please avoid the emoticons, these kind of icons in the business emails, okay? Because in business, this looks like very amateur or amateurish, okay? And also the short forms like, you know, LOL or by the way, and these things you should avoid. The biggest mistake Indians do while sending emails is the gender confusion, okay? Because certain names like Chandra, Krishna, and Prasanna, it can be in both the genders, right? And we don't know this person maybe. So you received an email from a person called Chandra and you don't know whether that's a she or a he, and you're replying to that person, then, you know, the first thing Indians do is dear sir / madam. That's the biggest insult you can give that to a person, okay? So never do that. Indians are known for doing such things. We just write like dear sir / madam. Don't do that. If you are not sure, you can go to Google and search. You can go to LinkedIn and search that person profile, or just write his full name like this, dear Krishna Prasad Chowdhury. Just write that. There's no problem. Okay, just use that full name. That's one thing. And then salutations, I've seen even students sending to HR managers their profiles or CVs, they just use hi. Hi is not professional, it's casual, is unofficial. Dear is accepted, okay, no problem. You can say dear sir, if you know that that's a sir, or dear ma'am, you can do that. And using caps, that's also an Indian culture thing. We type everything in caps. It's like shouting. Look at the first example, dear Sharma, thanks for your letter. We are excited to meet you soon in person. And look at the same matter typed down. Dear Sharma, thanks for your letter. We are excited to meet you soon in person. Which one you like? Okay, always this is cool. The other one is, you know, giving some tension to the reader. For you, maybe it's fine, but the reader will take it as an insult because this is shout. Okay, so that's one thing. Now, and using all the fields, you have to make sure don't click reply all unless it is required. You are replying, you know, to everyone. Maybe you are sending a quotation. You don't want the other people to know that. So please make sure, and never use your official emails to forward jokes or dirty pictures or cartoons. Never do that. And also when you type, you know that we have a common mistake, and A-N-D instead of that, we may type, you know, because the brain will work faster than the finger, or the finger will work faster than the brain. So this you have to check, right? Okay, now mobile phone. Mobile phone is actually, is it a curse or a, you know, is it a boon or a bane? Still, you know, the debate is going on. So avoid taking calls during business meetings. This is the very important thing. Even if you are attending an online seminar or you are attending a face-to-face meeting, please put your mobile on silent. Okay, you can put on that. If it is an official, you are sitting in your room, you can put the official phone, the land phone, you can activate the voicemail. Even the mobile phone, you can activate voicemail. Okay, in case it's very urgent, your boss is calling and your boss is known for, you know, impatient, and he may get angry, you can excuse yourself, go out of the room, talk and come back. And once you are back, you should apologize. Sorry for that, because it's very unavoidable. Then avoid sending text messages and answering emails during meetings. Many people do this. Okay, while meeting, they will just put the phone under the table and they just keep on typing, just keep on typing. That's very rude. You're insulting the other participants. I mean, the other attendees. Don't do that. Okay, and then I have noticed the irritating and nagging ringtones. Many people put the nagging ringtones, you know, at some people laughing loudly, or some famous songs. These are all unprofessional. These are all unprofessional. So as a professional, as a professional, you're representing your company and you're attending a meeting or a seminar, you're actually downgrading your company by putting such ringtones. Ringtone should be very plain. Okay, it should be very plain. Okay, and also don't shout, especially using mobile phone. We have a problem of shouting and talking. Okay, because this is came through our genes. I think in early days when we had the land phone and then we need to do the trunk dialing and wait for a call, we used to shout over the phone for the other person to hear. And that thing came through generations, through our genes. And even now with a mobile phone, and you don't know the power of the microphone of a mobile phone, you can pick all the noises and you're shouting and screaming, especially in malls. People, do this. In theaters, if you're that busy, don't come to theater. Why you are irritating others also, though they also paid the same amount of money and they came to watch, okay? And even inside the elevators, inside the lifts, they talk. The lifts is another sacred place, which we will talk a little later. Okay, so in restaurants, so either you want to show off that you are a fellow with a lot of connections, you can scream and do that, but it is against the etiquettes. Okay, so this is what you need to do. If you are inside a lift and you are still on the phone, and the phone came much before the lift came, you enter and then you can lower your voice. You can use the the hand palm like this, and you can talk in a low voice. Okay, now little bit now I've seen that people are talking, people are screaming because they are using this, and this act as a barrier, and they think that he has to scream. So you have to be very careful. This is one thing. Now, while entering the meeting rooms, you can always put the phones on silent or on a vibrate mode. And inside the cubicles, now you know that the IT boom, many of the companies are having cubicles. Never leave your phone on the desk if you're going to the washroom or you're taking a break and with a nagging ringtone. Just imagine if you have a nagging ringtone, you left the phone on your desk, you went down for a break, and other people are maybe scratching their head trying to do some coding. Think about them. Don't do that. That is again etiquettes. And another important thing is, while calling other person, don't wait and don't nag him to pick up the phone. Okay, 3 rings, 4 rings maximum, disconnect. Okay, he can see the missed call and he can call you back. Our people is having a very bad culture of calling till the end. The announcement will come that the person you're calling is not accepting the call right now. You will wait for that. Again, you will press the redial button. Don't do that. The other person may be inside the washroom, he's cooking, or he's just having his medicine. Wait, he will call back. Okay, and if it's that urgent, send him a WhatsApp message or an SMS. Please call me back. Okay, so that's the first etiquette you should understand. People are busy. Maybe he's driving, so don't do that. Okay. Now, answering a call while answering hello is considered as very unprofessional in the business world. Okay, you can always say that, Rajit, good morning. You can say that. Okay, or Rajit here, good morning. You can say that. If you're calling someone, if you know the caller, address him by the name. Okay, that's another thing. Dr. Prakash, you can do that. Okay, that's one thing. Some people, just call and can you guess who I am? Okay, you are wasting other person's time also. Don't play hide and seek over the phone. Okay, so calling curfew, while you are at home, you need to have, especially the senior officials, you should have a curfew, a calling curfew, unless it's urgent. You don't allow anyone to call between 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. Okay, because that's your time you are spending with your family, right? So everything can wait there. Unless it's an emergency, they can send an SMS or call the alternate number, or that person can call again. So if a person is repeatedly calling, then there is some urgency, you can answer. Right, and texting business, instant messages. If you're sending messages to business partners, avoid this kind of, cryptic languages. And this is the new generation invented this cryptic languages. Great to see you at 8 and all those things. By the way, are you okay to meet at 3 at coffee day instead 1? These things, please don't do it while doing business. This is between your friends. You can do that, but not with your business partners. And if you're calling, as I said earlier, always identify, don't allow that person to guess who you are, right? And if you're answer with the name or the company's name. If you're answering the landline of the company, you can say that, welcome to Xerox or welcome to Amazon, and never say hello. Okay, now our people, hello, No, that's not the way. That's very unprofessional. Okay, Amazon, good morning, may I help you, is the best way. And be polite and courteous. You should, you can try this. You can record. You should always smile while answering on the phone. You can do that using your recording facility in your mobile phone. Say the same sentence without smiling and with smile. Smiling as well, and then play back and see the difference. So always be polite and courteous, because over the phone the person is not seeing you, so you need to do that. And office phones, make sure you answer within 3 rings and maximum 4 rings. The companies abroad, they have a policy, telephone policy, that you should answer within 3 rings, right? Okay, now if you're away from your desk, you can always tell your secretary or a colleague, or you can even forward that to your voicemail, right? And smile and talk, I just said. Listen well, that's very important. You can take notes. Okay, you can take notes, because we are not superhuman. So you can always take notes. Okay, the caller's name, maybe you received a call on behalf of your manager, or you received a call on behalf of your colleague sitting next cubicle. You can take a note of the person's name and number. Okay, there is no harm. Even you are not understanding if he said, I am Al-Rumi. Okay, you don't know the spelling of Al-Rumi. You can always ask politely, can you spell your name? Okay, there is no problem, and you say, you can write it down. This is very important. And never put people on hold unless they agree on that. We haven't seen, if you call a company, the person will say that, okay, just a second, nothing is going to happen. He can just press that forward button. So say that, are you okay to hold for 3 minutes? I will transfer. Okay, if the person says yes, you can do that. And if the call is coming back, again, you can apologize and ask whether I can hold or not. So please, people don't like you putting on hold, right? Okay, now Twitter, companies use Twitter a lot. You also use, because it's a micro-blogging. And, many celebrities, authors, and entrepreneurs and politicians use Twitter for the business as well. You should, ensure that it's not damaging your employer. Even if you're forwarding something or you're tweeting, make sure you are not damaging the company. That's very important. The social media etiquette is slightly different. This itself will take 3 to 4 hours to explain. I will just touch base. Okay. So social media, the important one is the Facebook. The problem, we always put it on the wall. Okay, the things you post on the wall is everyone can see, right? It's public. So make sure if you, which is good. Maybe your friend didn't tell anyone that he switched jobs recently, and you're posting on the wall, congratulations for resigning from this company. Okay, so don't do that. You can send him as a messenger, as a message in the messenger. Okay, so that's one thing. And whatever you're posting, make sure you're not damaging the company as well, right? Then even I've seen people posting about the demise of their grandmother and a lot of things. These things, you don't have to put it on your FB page, right? You can put it in a message, and also reply to comments. If someone replied to your comments, reply to your post, please respond to that. Okay, if it's a question, answer. Okay, there is a reply option and you can answer. Do that. Don't just ignore. Okay, and also don't just keep on answering or liking whoever liked your thing. That's also a little bit suspicious, because you are a person seeking for popularity, people will think. Okay, so if there is a question or something you need to answer, not to everything. Okay, just keeping on clicking like. Okay, and be careful about the tone. And if you are not sure or you want to convey something, you can always use the emojis. Okay, you can always use that. And some people just be in FB or in Instagram to create a network and sending requests to strangers, or allowing strangers to be their friends. Don't do that. That will damage in the long run. We don't know who this person is, what connection is having, and later we may be in big trouble. So make sure even if you have very few friends, that's enough. Okay, that doesn't create any value addition for you in your profession, that you have a huge network. Okay, so be very careful. And then posting photos from olden days, unglamorous photos from olden days just to tease him, posting in the wall, it can be an insult to the other person. So always get his permission or her permission before posting. So these things you have to be very, very careful. Another thing is, the moment you join a company, you will add all the people, including your boss, as a friend. Okay, that's the first thing you do. And one fine morning, you will just write that I have an idiot boss who is nagging me with a lot of work, and I'm fed up with this company. And that including, who will be reading that, including your boss. Finish. That's it. Or maybe you share a very secret project which your company is working. I'm working for this particular project for this particular client, and I don't know how to finish it. That's again a very dangerous thing. So don't post your professional things on Facebook, right? Okay. And then, tarnishing others. Now, as per the cyber law, it's very dangerous and it's punishable under law. Be very careful when you flame others. So don't do that. And one thing you should understand, the footprints you make in social media cannot be deleted forever. Okay, so that's one thing. Now, business attire is very important. I said as a consultant, as a strategist, I wear dark suit and white shirt and a tie and a lace shoes, I said, right? So manage your visual image. That's very important. Dress according to your position. That's what you need to understand. And you can put makeup, but not over makeup if you're working for a consulting company or you're working for an insurance company. But if you're working for a cosmetic company, yes, you need to be very glamorous, or you need to be putting the all makeup and all. Dress for your clients. That's another thing. But never dress in a way that you feel uncomfortable. Okay, that's the very important thing. You have to be comfortable while wearing whatever you're wearing. Right? So that's one thing. Grooming is very important. Okay, that's very important. The way you put your hair. If you have too much of hair, you can always use gel. Okay, and also you can use, you can tie, you can use a bow, you can do a lot of things. I've seen people, even students coming for, or the candidates coming for interviews with the hair flowing all the way. And if that's not an air-conditioned room and you are sitting under a fan, just think that the hair will flow like this, and the interviewer will be looking at that. Okay, so please avoid such things, right? And body odor. We are all living in a tropical weather and we sweat, and that you have to be very careful. We need to take daily baths, definitely, and you have to make sure you don't have any sweat smell, your mouth is not smelling. Okay, you can use chewing gums or mouth fresheners, and of course feet, the socks. If some companies, our tradition, we remove our shoes and enter, we have to be very careful. And overuse of perfumes, you have to be very careful. You can use very light deodorants. That's not an issue. You can invest in a deodorant, and even these perfumes you can use in the light perfumes. And some perfumes, the moment they put, and it's so so fragrant, and when you enter an AC room, before you come in, the smell will hit the person. Think about that person if he's having migraine. Okay, so these things. And tattoos, don't expose your tattoos too much. Okay, that is not professional, and be very careful, right? Okay. Now, etiquette impacted by COVID-19. We are living in a new normal. Definitely everything changed. Now, we are not going to shake hands with anyone. Okay, no more shake hands, no more hugs, no more kisses. Okay, namaste, our old tradition, is the best option. Okay, now people, we used to say that earlier in America, people used to make fun of us about this and all. Now even the British Prince Charles did this, right? Okay, so that's a pride thing. So namaste is so hygienic, because if you are coughed before shaking hands with someone inside this, you are transferring the virus to the other person. But by doing this, you are not touching anyone. Okay, and you can wear a mask and attend the meeting, no problem at all. You can always wear a mask and attend the meeting, right? And you need to encourage your waiting staff, your people who serve the tea and coffee, to wear mask as well as gloves. Okay, always try to keep a distance while sitting and standing. That is, of course, social distancing. You have to be very careful if you are going to have a real sit-on meeting, not the online meeting. That I will tell you later. And don't share food or eat or drink from the same utensils. Okay. Now, that's the thing. While lunchtime, people exchange, people eat from someone else, that shows the affection and the trust and the love. Everything is right. Now, everything should be inside you. You don't have to express now. Okay, and always carry the hand sanitizer before entering an elevator. okay, or before touching the doorknobs, please sanitize your hands, okay? Before touching a slide changer, before touching a laser pen, please hand sanitize, okay? And then earlier, the business cards we used to give people, and the way we have to give, I will tell you a little bit later. But now, if this is not avoidable, please leave it on the desk after getting the permission, or switch completely to digital cards. You can send over, as an email or as a business card over the phone, right? Using a microphone, never remove the, the mask. This is a problem, because the mic, because the way people talk may spray with a lot of, the body fluids, the saliva and all. So please, you can always wear the mask while talking over the microphone, and don't touch the microphone. Some people, they will come and knock the microphone. Okay, the microphone is not supposed to be knocked. You can always say something and check whether it's on or not. And inside the lift, you can always limit 4 to 6 people. And if there is no operator, use the knuckles. Use the knuckles to switch. If possible, if you are not wearing any gloves, use the knuckles to, press the desired button, or use a pen. Use a pen to do that. Okay, use a pen to do that. And avoid in escalators, please, if possible, you can balance and you have no problem, just avoid the rails. Okay, because rails, you're holding the rails, it will come along with you and come up. Okay, that's the thing. And again, even if you don't offer hand sanitizer to others, it's fine. It's absolutely fine under etiquettes now. Okay, you don't have to offer sanitizers for the others, because your sanitizer it's for you. And always ensure you dispose the gloves and the mask and the tissue paper and the paper napkins appropriately. Don't just litter. Okay, people throw. That, never do that. Okay, and now, as per by the law, it's banned that you are not supposed to spit on the streets as well. And your eyes, even if you are wearing a mask, don't worry about that. As I said at the start, your eyes should convey the warmth and the feeling. Okay, this is what, it's a new normal. We cannot change anything. This is we cannot do anything. So you can practice and dress appropriately. Online meeting etiquette, that's another thing. Dress appropriately and avoid casuals. I've seen that since I'm working from home, I can just wear whatever I want and sit in front of the camera. That's wrong. If you're doing a business meeting, you have to dress appropriately. The way you go for a real meeting, on a person-to-person meeting, you should be dressed. Excuse me, just one second. This is what you need to do, and watch out for your grooming, as I said earlier, and always beam positivity. Okay, and if you're doing an online from your home, make sure your background, make sure about your background. The background should be clean. Okay, and don't show the soiled window curtains or the walls or the graffiti or the your cloth hangers, everything. You have to be very careful. Right? Okay, and then ensure proper lighting. The light should come always to your face, not to the camera. That's the thing you have to ensure, right? And a noise-free environment. Make sure the crying baby and the barking dog is away when you're doing a business meeting. You can be inside a room and close the door and tell your family members you're going to do an important meeting and you need silence, because the microphone can pick anything, right? Okay, you can either sit or you can stand and talk, no problem, but never lie down on a sofa or a bed and attend a meeting. That's very rude, right? Okay, and if you are using a mobile phone, to connect with your business, Zoom or whatever, whichever platform, make sure the phone is held correctly. I mean, don't shake. Okay, that's very, think about the other person seeing you all the time, like moving. Okay, so be very careful. And while doing that, and the other person is talking, don't just sit and write or draw or do other things. Don't do that. Okay, multitasking, that shows, and that's an insult for the other person, right? That you are not interested. That's the thing. Okay, you can always take notes. You need to keep, before start of the meeting itself, you need to keep paper and pen, and during the meeting, don't just get up and go away, go to collect them. The problem is, many people, what I have seen is their dress on the top, I mean, they use a good shirt, a very professional shirt and everything, but maybe they may be wearing a short pants or a Bermuda. And when they get up, the camera will catch, okay? And that you will be, a sorry figure in front of others. If you are a host always log in 15 minutes earlier and check your video and mic and wait for the other people to join. And you can welcome the attendees. That's one thing. Never allow other people to wait. Okay, and you need to encourage mic of others when someone is talking. Right now, we also kept on requesting everyone put it on mute, and there are options. The host can mute every mic, so please do that. And if your bandwidth is low, you can cut your video. You just watch the speaker's video, okay, or the person who is talking. You can watch, and then when you're answering, your turn is there. You can switch on the video, so you will save some bandwidth. And you can always ask permission for the other person before recording the meetings, because there are options where you can record these meetings, okay. But you should inform the other person, right? And once done, you can forward the recording or the recording link which you have uploaded somewhere. That's another thing. And while scheduling meetings, other than the ad hoc meetings, you need to check with everyone whether that time suits. Okay, that's one thing. And also tell them upfront which an app you're going to use, which platform you're going to use. Okay, people are comfortable using Zoom and the WebEx and all those things, Google Meet and everything. So tell them this is the one. If he is not having, let him download and keep. Okay, so that's one thing. You can send a reminder on the previous day, and always have a plan B if the things don't work. You can have, always have a plan B. Another platform schedule the same time, another meeting schedule on the platform, and you can get it. Okay, now cubicle manners. Since IT boom, we have all the companies. Most of the companies are having cubicles, and cubicles. Even though you are sitting inside cubicle, we have a feeling that we are sitting in a separate room. Okay, you have to cut your noise down. Your personal phone calls should be checked. You cannot just discuss your evening plan or your weekend doings over the phone, because the other person, you should respect their privacy, right? And avoid these such talks inside. And some people, especially girls, I'm so sorry, they decorate their cubicles, especially in the Gulf. I've seen that people decorate their cubicles with their entire family photographs, on all the funny things which they have received earlier and all those things. And always maintain hygiene and manage order. Don't leave the coffee cups and all those things on your desk. Just clear it before you close or end of the day, right? Right. Now, introductions and handshakes. Handshakes, now we said because of COVID, we stopped, right? Anyway, we will all feel, and we will pray that this COVID will end and the world will come back to the previous thing. So handshake is very important, and what I have seen is, if we have to ensure that the other person is okay with handshakes, especially the other gender. So in Saudi Arabia, you cannot extend your hand to a woman. Okay, there we say salam alaikum and you bow your head. So there are people who are okay with handshakes. So you have to ensure that, right? And the way you handshake man to man, or a woman to woman, or a man to woman, everything will be on the same thing. Don't be soft when you are shaking hands with a woman. Okay, that doesn't look good, right? So and hierarchy, and it's not gender based. That's the one thing you should understand, because we are in a culture where we always respect women, and when a team is having a woman, we will greet her or him her first, right? It's not like that. It is based on hierarchy. Okay, it's based on hierarchy, and even exchanging of cards is also based on hierarchy. Anyway, so firm handshake transpires confidence. Okay, if you do little bit softer, that shows that you are not confident. Okay, and since this is an online, I cannot show how to handshake, but make sure this portion touches the other person if you are handshaking. But again, I'm saying COVID, please don't handshake. Right? Please don't handshake. Then business cards, again, I said earlier, if possible, switch to digital. This is now becoming an old fashioned. And if you are giving, you will be always understand that business card is a sacred document. Okay, it is you. It's representing you. So you have to treat it very, very, very sacredly. So always hold at the tips and then give. So the other person can read. Okay, not like ulta and give, just be the same thing and give. So, and the other person will receive from this end, right? That's one thing. The moment you receive a business card, read it and just say, comment, oh, wow, that's a great business card. That's a great design. And then either you can keep it inside your business card case, or you can even hold after some time. You can, or some people I've seen, the moment they take it, they put it in their pockets. Don't do that. That's an insult. Okay. So make sure you handle it properly, and make sure you don't see this is a soiled and full of dirt. Okay. Don't give this kind of business cards to anyone. The business card should be clean. As I said, it's representing you, right? So that's one thing. Each country, there are different etiquettes for business cards. Business cards in China, of course, they would love to see the gold ink, okay, because golden color is very auspicious for Chinese people. And then it should include your title and your company name, and a lot of things you should have it in your business card. Okay. And never write on the business cards. Okay. Even if the number has changed, you want to tell him, once you give him and say that, okay, I have a new number. If you don't mind, I will write it on that. Get the business card back after getting his permission, right? Not like pulling out from your pocket, writing the new number and then giving. That's very rude. Okay, don't do that. And that's the Chinese thing. And India, of course, some states, you can even put the university degree or any honor you have got, you can do that. And you will always give through the right hand and receive, but I suggest using both hands. Okay. And in Japan, Japan's a ceremony. 100 times you have to bow and get up and then give. Okay. You have to make sure your business card is having title. That's the first thing. And the quality of the card determines your position. That's in Japan. And what they do, they normally do, even I follow this, once you receive business cards, there are 10 to 12 people attending a meeting. I will just arrange in front of me according the way they are sitting, so that whenever you want to address them by name. That's a very good thing, which happens in Japan. In UK, a little bit ceremonies are also there, and to keep the business cards in your pockets, it's considered to be bad, right? And as I said, every country, everywhere, people prefer clean cards. Don't give soiled or damaged cards. Okay, basic guidelines for the breakfast, the lunch and dinner. This is post-COVID or post-lockdown. Okay, if you are inviting someone for a breakfast meeting, and the breakfast, the business conversation will start only after the tea or the coffee is served. Make sure before the tea is served, don't start business. Till that time, you can talk about the weather, about the normal, the country's things, the country's progress, the traffic, and those general things. Lunch, again, after the food and the beverage is served, then only you will talk business. And dinner, no business until the main course is finished or the host of the dinner opens a discussion, right? And Germans, they don't discuss business during meal. That's very inauspicious for them. I think in India also, in some states, we don't take decisions after dinner, right? Then Chinese, they don't have any issue to discuss business, but they prefer to mix, family, social, and other topics. They talk everything during dinner, right? Okay. Now, business meeting face-to-face post-COVID, you need to ensure that you are always start on time. Punctuality shows respect the other people's time. They are coming from a distance to attend your meeting. You should not keep them waiting, right? And then warming up should not talk directly, go to the business topic. You can talk general topic. As I said about cricket, weather, traffic, we don't have a problem of such general topics, right? Then no over talking, and you just keep on talking and you don't allow the other person to talk. That I've seen. That's what you are not a communicator, good communicator. In the start, I said a good listener is a good communicator. Okay, and some people come to the meeting, just to shoot down others' views or other suggestions. Okay, their only objective is for that. You have to tackle them as well. Okay, and even if you disagree gracefully, yeah, you can always say that, okay, Mr. Rajit said this. Okay, maybe that's workable, but I have a different opinion. No problem. Okay, this is the way you can, disagree gracefully, but the other people will say that, no, what Rajit said is rubbish. Why should we do that? Okay, that's wrong. Okay, and then professionalism. When you're going for a meeting, do some homework. Do some homework about the attendees, about the chairman, about the secretary, whoever. Okay, do some what's the liking and all those things. If you go to LinkedIn, you know, the interest, just go down and see the interest area. So these things, and before closing, always summarize it. Okay, that's one thing. Now, showing civility when people are coming to your office, you can always hold and open the door for the person behind you. Okay, this is once the COVID is over. And if you are in a lift, you can hold the lift door open for the person trying to get in. That we always follow the ladies first principle, right? The lady can get out or get in, and then only other people will follow. Okay, I think I'm back. Something happened. Okay, we expected. Hope everyone is there and connected back. Okay, now you can help a colleague to carry a heavy bag or a projector, no problem at all. Okay, but this is post-COVID. If you are helping during COVID, make sure you sanitize your hands after that. Even before and after, you can do that. Are you sure everyone is online? I'm not sure about that. Okay, fine. Someone can just put it at yes in the chat box, possible.
Sir, yes, sir. You are visible.
Okay.
You are also clearly audible, sir.
Oh, no problem. No, thank you. Okay, now office visitors, if you have already scheduled a meeting, you should inform the security guys, the secretary or the receptionist much before. Don't wait, don't, you know, make the other person to wait and explain and prove his identity. That's the one thing. You can get the details of the vehicle and all those things and give it to the security so that he will not stop. Okay, and train your receptionist, very important. The first person everyone meets in a company is the receptionist.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes.
Your slides are not shared.
Okay. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that. Ah, yeah. Okay.
Just a minute, sir. Just a minute.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Now it's fine, right? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yeah. So inform the security much before the meeting or the arrival of the guests, and train your secretary to be polite and courteous. Okay. Make sure this secretary looks into the eye and talk. She should not be multitasking when someone important is standing in front of her. So you have to be very careful, right? Okay. Now you can welcome the visitor from your office door or your meeting door, if possible. Okay. Don't just, you know, throw your weight around that the other person will go and sit and then you enter as if it's in a, you know, superstar entering. Now that all represents the company's culture. Okay. If you are at the desk, stand up, smile, and come out of around the desk and shake hands. In COVID, don't shake hands. Okay, shake hands and then come back. Not like you are standing right there and then shaking hands across the table. It's very, it's not polite. Okay, and then you can introduce your colleagues. You can exchange business cards, talk about weather and traffic, offer a glass of water or tea or coffee. And once everything is settled, you discuss the agenda. Okay, once meeting is accompanied, you can accompany them. It's done. Accompany them up to the lift. Okay, and then you can see them off. Right. Okay, so that's one thing. Now lifts, earlier also we said talking inside lift is another thing, right? Lifts and elevators are seen as a public space. And once you enter, always make sure you pick a corner, okay? Ensuring maximum distance. Now only 6, depending on the size of the lift, we restrict the number of people entering lifts, right? Try not to touch anyone, even if post-COVID everything is clear. Try not to touch anyone. Hold on to your laptop and files and in front of you, okay? That's one thing. Don't make eye contact if it's strangers. You can gaze at the lift panel, which floor, or you can even look at your mobile phone and, you know, just scroll. Okay, don't peep into somebody else's mobile phone. That's a very bad thing we do, right? And make sure when you are entering the lift, you have to make sure your body odors, your armpits and your harsh perfumes, this is, will get highlighted or become an irritant inside an elevator. And some people entering the lift, they will just apply
So you're not audible.
Yeah, I think every time connecting back, it is going to mute. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. So during COVID-19, you can even politely ignore holding someone's baby or someone's package or grocery. You can say no, because it's okay. You don't want to share someone its back. That's one thing. Now, this is the personal space which I was mentioning earlier. Okay, look at this. This is where you are. This is your intimate space where it's reserved for your family and your close friends. So you will not allow strangers to come that close. Okay, and then this is the personal space for all the business associates, and this is the social space. Okay, when you are doing a networking event and interacting with strangers, this is the thing, and this is of course the public space. So during COVID, we will always make sure, other than your family, 6 feet minimum distance. Okay. And different countries have different, definitions of personal space. You can see in Britain, 80 centimeter and 50 centimeter for intimate or close friend. In India, we have 90 centimeters for the acquaintance and 60 centimeters for an intimate or a close friend. And in Argentina, 76 and 59 for acquaintance and 40 for a close friend. Romanians have 1.3 meters from a stranger, 80 centimeter from an acquaintance. I would love to know what's the situation of COVID in Romania. Let's look. Okay, now you can say no. It's okay now. You are confirmed to attend a meeting, and then later you are regretting. You can do that. But in a standard etiquette, you are not supposed to do that. If you have confirmed, you have to attend. But in the age of Corona, you can skip the events and there is no problem, okay? Because of social distancing. You are having any symptom of coughing and something, you should not go, okay? So that's very important. Business events in the no COVID C19 scenario, it's the best way you can do networking, okay? And there your mingling quotient is applicable. You need to mingle with people and you can talk to people. Don't just stuck with someone and because you have to widen your network. That is if there is no Corona and once the business is back to normal, okay? You have to go and meet and you can exchange your business card, but not like as if you are distributing a notice, okay? Talk to the people, and if you feel that okay, this person is okay or this company is okay for you to do business in future, you can just hand over your business card before leaving. Or if the other person is asking for your business card also, you can give the business card or your personal number, your official number. This is what you need to do. Food, every business event will have food, and the problem, even if we don't eat that much, if it's a buffet, we just go and fill the plate and then we waste, okay? You can see in such meetings, people filling the plates and you cannot see the person's face. Don't do that, okay? Always start with starters. Use your right hand, keeping the drink in the left hand if it is a cocktail dinner or a cocktail event, okay? And try boneless, bite-sized, non-messy finger foods. This is the best thing, okay? If there's a bone, then you have to use your hands and it will be a mess out here. And prawns with tails. Okay, always hold the prawns with tail if you are a non-veg and dip in the sauce, eat and discard the tail. Okay, and don't take the whole thing inside and then spit it. Don't do that. Okay, that is very rude. Then hot snacks, make sure you just took cappuccino or something and wait for that thing to be a little cool before you put it on your on your lips, and then you get it burned. Then olives and cherries and grapes, always there will be a pit, or we call the seed. You can take that in the napkin which you are carrying, right? These are the common things which we have seen. Okay, and then if you're really hungry, take the food, go to one corner, quieter corner, eat, and then return to the network. That's also, it's not a problem. And drink sensibly. If drinks are provided, okay, since it's free, don't do that as if you're seeing that for the first time. Okay, go with tall drinks that require mixing of water and all those things. And always hold the glass on the left hand with a napkin draped round about it, because freezing and then hand gets freeze, and when you're going for the shaken you have a problem. That's why always keep it on the left hand, so your right hand is free for shaking. If you are a left-hander, do the other way around. Okay, and teetotalers also, you can carry a glass, you can have any mocktail or a Pepsi or something, but don't go and preach the side effects of drinking if the dinner is served with beverages. Don't do that. That's not the right time to preach the side effects of drinking. Okay, and the host etiquette, if you're arranging a meeting and the guests are coming from abroad, always check their preferences and their taste and choice of restaurant, and always try to get the table near the buffet counters, so that not near the buffet counters, in a corner, so you will get privacy. Otherwise, in a buffet counter, other people will also always come in and you cannot discuss business. Okay, and you have to reach on time and make sure you talk business, right? And you can even ask if foreigners are involved. You can even ask there is any special dietary requirement. Some people may not have the gluten. They need gluten free, or they may be diabetic. These things you have to make sure. Okay, so that's the thing. Then. Yeah, you should not show off during the these kind of dinner meetings to the waiting staff. Always treat them with politeness and respect. They are also doing their job. Some people trying to show off, they will shout at them, and this is not the way I was expecting, and all those things. Don't do that. Okay, and end gracefully. Thank the host and follow it up with a thing. So postures, never, Indians have a problem, and we go to a meeting or a restaurant, we will put our elbows on the table. Keep the elbows off the table, and don't smoke even if you're a smoker. And if there is a fork by mistake, you put it down, don't just bend and pick it up. Call the waiting staff and ask him to change also. Okay, you just pick it up and then call the waiter to change, right? Then if a coworker having a food stuck, between their teeth, you can verbally signal him, or even SMS and tell him that there's a problem. Okay, and if you spot a hair on the soup, okay, these are all human beings, right? Don't make a scene. Just call politely the staff and clear it. Okay, and you don't have to eat everything on the plate, and don't waste food. So take what you can eat. Okay, and then don't toothpick during the thing, and never drink straight from a can. Always make sure the waiting staff put the Pepsi or the cola on a glass, and then you do that, right? Okay, and then don't call the waiting staff, hey, shh, shh, shh. Don't do that. Okay, or some people do like that. You can always either eye contact, or you can raise your hands like this and you can say, excuse me. Okay, that's one thing. Business tea, I think it's not thing. Okay, so these are the other programs which I go around and do. There are soft skills programs and a bulletproof career programs for the the students, and design thinking. Then what's next? How to prepare a CV and an interview, and of course there are a plethora of faculty development programs. So that's it. Because we skipped a lot of videos due to the bandwidth. I'm so happy. Happy that I collaborated with BIMS. I should thank Dr. Prakash, who is also a regional mentor. And just for him, I did this session. Thank you so much. I'm ready to take questions. You can put it on the chat, or how Mr. Shiva, would love to do it. Thank you. Shiva, you can take over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you very much. In fact, we are in a time where everything is changing around us. The way we eat, the way we talk and interact with others, and our behavior, and so as is our etiquettes. This session was very useful to us. I would request participants to please post your queries or questions if you have any.
They can unmute if you want.
Sir, one of the participant has asked this question.
Yeah.
The question is how to communicate a negative message in an email or in any other medium where there is no face-to-face connection.
That's a wonderful thing. If you're sending an email and you want to, let's say you're trying to fire someone, okay, instead of putting straight that your services are no longer required, you can talk about the current situation that due to the COVID and the businesses got impacted, we are forced to overlook our human resources, and unfortunately your name is one among them, and we assure that if once things are back, we may contact or we will help you to connect with other employers. This is how you put it. Or when just say that from May 30th onwards, your services are no longer required is very rude. Okay, HR, I've seen HR do this a lot of time. You should not do that. You should be very polite, and the way you put it across, should not bring him down. You should, encourage him to search for other jobs, and you should promise that. Okay, and you should also do it. I mean, just not a promise that you will connect this person to other employers as well. Vaibhav said, according to me, if we concentrate more on etiquette, productivity will come down. These are Vaibhav, these are all excuses. Productivity will never come down. Even now, these are the reactions. Now why many companies are firing people just because we had a lockdown. Okay, a lockdown, everyone got locked down. Every business got impacted. These are all reactions. Okay, so these are excuses. We are living in a world and people judge based on how we portray ourselves. So and hygiene is also a part of etiquette. So we need to practice. Now COVID made our eyes open that we moved away from the hygiene we used to have in early days. Okay, so this is the right time. We should do that. So that's an excuse. I will not take that, Viper. Sorry. Okay, that is the feedback form, I think. That would be great. And Shiva, please.
There's one last question here, with your permission.
Yeah, go ahead.
The question is, should the interview, the person who is attending the interview, should he or she shake hand with the interviewer? Or should he wait for the interviewer to present his hands for this handshake?
When you are entering a room and you see people sitting over there, you will go with an open arm. So there is nothing wrong that you go and offer. Okay, but the only issue is if that's a woman and that person is having a culture not to shake hands and she is used only for this, do this. And COVID time, please do this or just bow.
So there is one more question. The question says, does MTI really matter in communication?
I didn't get you again. Can you say it again, please?
Does MTI really matter in communication?
That particular word I'm not getting. MPI? Is it typed here? MPI? What's that? I couldn't get that word. NPI or NPL? What's that?
This is MTI.
What's that? MPI. Can you ask that person?
Because the question itself is not here.
MTI really matter in communication. I don't know what. This is from Dr. Mahandesh Kuri. Sir, can you, I'm from the Rani Chinnamma University. Sir, can you explain what is MTI? Maybe I'm not good in, abbreviations and acronyms. Can you ask him what it is? Okay, any other question?
We can clarify that later, sir.
Later, they can even WhatsApp me, or we can do that over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, I really thank you once again for accepting our invitation in such a short duration and sparing your valuable time with us. I would also like to thank our director, Dr. Ajay Ali, sir,
Thank you.
for his continuous support. And I also thank all the BIMS faculties for coordinating this event. Finally, I would like to thank all the participants who have participated in today's session. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Personal link will be posted.